Today on episode 44, our Phil Cavaretta episode of Typical Chicago Fans presented by the Loop Sports, we have Sinkers and Floaters, Boomy's road trip recap, MLB goes to the cornfields, Diamond talk on the Cubs and Sox, a Bears kicking competition update, and the TCF top 3 hypothetical baseball announcers. Let's roll.
One of the sponsors of today's podcast is 26shirts.com Chicago. We're excited to partner with 26 Shirts again for the month of August. 26 Shirts sells cool t-shirts backed by an even cooler mission, helping people in need. Every 2 weeks, they offer an exclusive t-shirt for $25, and a portion of the proceeds from each sale goes to help a person or family in need or an organization heavily involved in community outreach. The artists who provide the designs receive a percentage, a life is impacted, and you get a limited edition sports-themed t-shirt that will go in the 26 Shirts vault, never to be printed again. Portions of the proceeds from these sales of these shirts go to help a person in need of serious financial assistance due to overwhelming medical bills. You can read more about this cause on their website. Thank you to 26 Shirts for sponsoring the podcast for the month of August. Go to 26shirts.com to order your shirt and help a worthy cause. They have it's a bear eating cheese. It's dinner time, so if you want to go out there. And they also have the flags and the mystery shirts, which are on sale for $12 right now. So go out there and get your mystery shirt. And go get that Bears shirt before the Bears take down the Packers. Hello and welcome to episode 44 of Typical Chicago Fans presented by the Loop Sports. I am Zach. You go over there?
I'm good.
I am Zach Lilia. You can follow me on Twitter at ZLilja, Lilja, TCF. Follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Follow Loop Sports at the Loop_Sports. Follow us on our Facebook. We'll be getting back to our weekly show here coming up. We do it usually between Tuesdays, Thursdays. We do that. We go Facebook Live, usually around 8 o'clock or so. We'll be seeing what we'll be doing there, but we'll be getting back on that grind. And also the Loop Sports. They have all the blogs they put up, all of our podcasts we put up. And they usually share the Facebook Live show, so go follow them on Facebook. And then Instagram, Facebook. This is one of those days. This is one of those days.
We've had like a 2.5-3 week break.
Our Typical Chicago Fans, the Loop Sports, Instagram. That's where you find us.
Yep. Absolutely. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. If you're an Apple user, you can find all the podcasts on Apple Podcasts. If you're not, you can find us on Spotify. Just go to either of those and type in Typical Chicago Fans. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, and follow us on Spotify. And like Zach said, with the Facebook Live, we put all those videos up on YouTube. Zach did a great job getting all of our stuff, and I know he's in the works of our first TCF road trip recap video. And that'll be coming here probably right around when football starts. But head over to our YouTube page, subscribe there, and check up on all of the old Facebook videos.
So I think we started at episode 38 recording the podcast.
Yep.
I think that's what it was. So
there's at least 5 episodes up there.
So we got all those up there. We'll be putting different stuff out from our trips. You just went on a trip. We'll get more into that, and I'm going on a trip. We'll get more into that next week. So
it's vacation season.
So we'll be going. It's
been like that for us for like 6 weeks, but it is what it is.
Vacation month and a half or so.
Exactly.
But we'll get right into it like we always do. Sinkers and floaters. I'm gonna go first with my sinker because it's just been on my mind. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. Tony Kemp, change your number, dude. Change your number.
Yep.
They got to retire.
Have some respect, son.
21 has got to be retired. I don't get why it's not. Disrespectful. I understand you're not allowing him back. I don't get with the steroid. It does Speaking of that, I'm going to Cooperstown. This is a little.
Will you take a? Can we make a plaque and you just hang it up?
There is a steroid era part of the.
So stupid.
Of
just
the
let
Hall
the guys
of
in.
Fame. I don't even care about the Hall of Fame. Let him back on the Cubs at least. I mean. I think Mark McGwire has worked for the Cardinals.
The Padres, and
he's
maybe the
never
A's.
come out and apologized or said anything about steroids. So I think it is.
If it makes you feel any better, Sammy's number is retired down here in the cave.
It is retired down here, but
come on, Tony Kemp.
All in all, I know it may sound a little crazy, but I do honestly think it is disrespectful that somebody is wearing his number. I understand. Some people didn't like him and this and that, but he put so much excitement into Wrigley Field and the Cub fans that he deserves to have at least his number retired.
We've said this like a million times. Like Sammy was the guy that brought us into baseball. Like we're a couple years apart, but like that home run race when I was 8 and you guys were like 5 was the thing that like we were baseball fans, but that made us like Cubs diehards.
Well, the problem with the whole Sammy Sosa retiring the number is they don't want him back at Wrigley Field and retiring his number. You kind of have to have him there to do it. So I think that's why they're a little reluctant to do it. But I really do think that they need to retire his number, or at least don't let anyone wear it.
I'm with you. 100%.
At least go that route. If you don't want to retire it fully,
just don't issue the number.
Yeah, don't issue the number. Don't let it be allowed.
Exactly. I'm with you. So, Theo, when you hear this, let's make it happen.
I also heard, a little debate about if Dennis Rodman's number should be retired.
I think it should.
Really and truthfully, retired or not, not a lot of guys are wearing 91.
Right, exactly.
But I do think I think it was on Waddle and Sylvie. Sylvie was saying he was the heart of the third three-peat. He was the heart and soul of, he was the tough guy on the team. He was a lot of the reason that they won it.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a Hall of Famer. And I know he's kind of
a crazy person,
and he's also he's not like Sammy Sosa, but the Bulls would have to bring him back, and he's a little bit of a
loose cannon.
Yes, but I do think Dennis Rodman deserves to have his number retired.
I'm with you, man. My sinker, as everyone knows, mine are kind of off the beaten path, and my sinker is Hornets. Not like a mascot, but like the actual animal. A man tried to use Roman candles to kill a hornet's nest at his house in Sturbridge, Massachusetts.
It didn't go well.
It didn't go well because he burned his house down.
How do you explain that one?
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying, and it's unfortunate. This guy, it didn't burn his whole house down, like burned his roof or something like that. He damaged his house pretty bad, but these hornets are on alert now. We're coming for them, and we're willing to use whatever it is. I love bees, okay? I love honey. Bees are great, okay? We need bees. Hornets, Hornets do nothing for our ecosystem. And don't tweet me that the Hornets do this or that. I don't care. Hornets do nothing productive but hurt people, okay? So let's get rid of the Hornets, and if it means using some Roman candles, you take a couple shots. Yeah, you miss, you burn your roof off, but we're getting better. The next shot, he was not going to hit the house. He's going to hit it what he's aiming at with Roman candles. We're going to get better at killing these hornets.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I understand how the insurance game goes, but how does that go when they come to the house and you go, how did this happen? And you have to say,
and you're sitting there with a lit Roman candle in your hand.
A not dead hornet.
Yeah.
So that would be a tough one to have to explain.
Yeah.
But you can see in the moment where you think, I'm going to get this guy. But when that Roman candle really goes off the beaten path of where you want it to go, and it hits the house and kaboom. Not kaboom. It wasn't like an explosive. But when it catches the house on fire, you just gotta be like,
"What? Did he shoot the propane tank?"
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, you gotta be like looking around, like, I think I just gotta pretend like it wasn't me.
You have to hide the evidence. Like, you have to get rid of the Roman candle first thing.
But I think that's kind of hard because I think it's on fire inside.
Well,
and
they had a video of it too.
Well, that doesn't help either.
No. So. You want to give your sinker?
Well, I just gave my sinker.
I'm sorry, your floater.
It's been about 2 weeks since we recorded a podcast.
It's about 3, I think.
About 3, so we're a little bit rusty. I think I took about 8 tries at the ad read there. So, but yeah, my floater. I have 2 floaters. Steeler fans have to be one of my floaters because now they're looking back. Everyone's looking at how crazy AB is. I understand he's going to play now, but not wanting to play because of the helmets. The foot problem where he didn't wear the right footwear into the cryogenic one where he was like I think he was in Germany.
Don't wear
or
socks
something.
and water. Like, that'll happen.
And it was, I don't think is that how it works?
I
thought it was one of those chambers.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought it was like one of those those pods that you lay in the submerged
either
water.
One, he didn't wear the right footwear and it was his own fault, which is crazy.
There's warnings on those things for a reason.
It's being plastered all over Hard Knocks too, so it's kind of nice for Steeler fans that they kind of got screwed out of having AB, which he is one of the best wide receivers in the league, but he is a problem, and I think he's going to keep being a problem. And I don't think he really. This is going to be a hot take. I don't think he's really interested in playing football very much.
Right, and like you said, like he's going to continue. Like, a leopard doesn't change its spots, and that he's going to be like this forever. There's going to be, mark my words, in 3 to 4 years, he's going to be demanding a trade out of Oakland because he's not happy with whatever it is.
John Gruden or whatever.
I mean, a million other things. It's going to be something. Them
Steeler fans, they got to be happy down there.
The Yinzers down in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so they got that
was pretty pretty good.
You've been working on.
I was in Pittsburgh. I was working on my Yinzer accent.
You were asking around. My other one is Bill Walton announcing baseball games. We're gonna get more into that with our top 3. Hypothetical. Is that what we're going with? Hypothetical announcers that we want, that are famous people, whatever, that we would like to see in there. But Bill Walton last night, you saved my night. The Cubs, they blew it last night. They blew it. It really stunk. We'll get more into the Cubs later because their bullpen stinks right now. But no, we're not gonna get heated about that. But I got myself off. Bill Walton, it was hilarious. Yes, it was a little bit much. It kind of almost seemed excessive.
Did you feel like it was a shtick at first?
No, I
didn't like it at first, and then I actually started watching it, and I liked it.
I would think that if never, ever have I listened to Bill Walton do a game interview, even with PMT, that it's fake. I think all of it's just so real. If it was fake, he would miss a beat. But he doesn't miss a beat. He always has something going.
How many innings were in a baseball game the first game?
Even though he called in and asked how many innings there were, and they told him, and then you know how many times he asked for the score? He's and Benetti's like, it's right there.
Yeah.
If you want to ask. And the names.
My favorite was, so he was supposed to sing the 7th inning stretch. And if you listen to like the bottom of the 6th and the top of the 7th, he probably started singing it at least a dozen times. Take me, out of nowhere. It was hilarious.
I mean, the things he was going on and on about. I think I saw that it's White Sox Talk. It's like the NBC White Sox thing. They have a 4-minute compilation of the video.
Me and my brother were actually just watching it.
It was hilarious. And yes, it may get a little excessive, but sometimes that's what you need, especially at a 9 o'clock game on a Saturday night in Anaheim, or
Friday night,
Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's in Anaheim.
Well, isn't it like
Anaheim is like a suburb of Los Angeles?
Well, didn't they change their name?
They're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
What were they before?
The Anaheim Angels.
Anaheim Angels. How long ago did that change?
About 10 years ago.
That would be awesome for the team because they're just now you get to go buy new gear.
Yeah.
So you're just reselling gear.
I agree.
But yeah, I think Bill Walton, like I said, we'll get more into our who we think that we like
I ended
to see
up loving it. I hated it at first. I loved it by the end.
I loved it, and it's just one of those things. It has to. You get to find your spot.
Yeah,
it's one of those, it wouldn't really work on like a Tuesday afternoon or something. A Saturday night, 9 o'clock. Everyone's watching the game. You set it up perfectly by having them call in
a game that no one would have watched.
And he's just a weird brain, and he always has something new to ask.
100%. My floater, on the other hand, is golf carts because a 56-year-old man in Florida took his golf cart through Walmart. Kind of like, how the old people ride the buggies, the motorized carts. Well, this intoxicated man drove his, he found a new place. Like, we all love riding golf carts on the golf course, Even some people ride them through towns out here in the middle of the cornfields. But this brave, intoxicated man just ripped his through a Walmart and terrorized shoppers. He was flying past cops, and then he eventually crashed into a register. But he's finding new territory, so I like it.
Okay, I'm going to go off the beaten path right now. I'm going conspiracy theory. I just got a recommendation on Twitter. It says, Jason Benetti, don't let it end. That iPad's listening to me.
Yeah,
it knows what I'm saying.
1,000%.
That was wild. I'll tell you, I'm going to take a picture of it right now because
that's hilarious.
It's 9:15, like I said, on Saturday night, and we're probably going to put this out tomorrow morning.
Yep.
But this is crazy.
I'm telling you, dude,
crazy.
It's no conspiracy. The government's listening.
That's crazy. I'm not one of those guys that like to talk. Like, I always think, honestly, I don't care if they're listening to us.
Yeah, I don't have anything to hide.
They get to listen to our awesome podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Subscribe.
Lucky you, government.
Yeah, maybe subscribe before you listen to us. But that was why I just had to bring that up because that was
That's
wild.
amazing.
That was amazing, wild, weird. But Boomy, let's get into your trip.
What a trip
10 days?
Yeah, 9. I think 9 days is what I.
9 days. How many? Give us the recap, miles, everything.
So I did 12 states, 12 different states in 9 days by myself. My lovely wife wasn't able to go with me. She couldn't get her vacation time switched around. So I left Wednesday, August 1st, and I got home late Thursday, August 8th. Like I said, 12 states. I did 2,500 plus miles. There's an estimate picture of it on my Instagram at Boomy83. But I hit 5 Major League Baseball stadiums. I It was amazing, dude. I spent over 30 hours in the car by myself, so shout out to the Barstool crew on Sirius XM and all the podcasts, Pat McAfee Show and Theo Vaughn, all those guys. Their podcast kind of kept me going. My longest drive was 12 hours on the first day. So I left. I had a dentist appointment like Wednesday, and still I need to talk to Boss Nick about this because I'm still having some dental problems. That's a whole nother topic. But I left.
And you guys have some dental.
Dude, I can't like chew on the right side of my mouth
right now.
Yeah, like
maybe go to the dentist.
I'm actually supposed to go in like 2 more weeks.
See, this is what happens to people like you. You don't go to the dentist, and something
I think I'm gonna have to have
like
another
this,
root canal. Yeah,
and then you're like, "This is why I don't go to the dentist."
Exactly.
No, if you go to the dentist,
I'm gonna get this root canal done. The sensitivity's gonna go away. And then I'll go when I'm 38.
That's not how it works. If you keep up on it, then it won't be that bad.
Because every time now I go, something bad happens. But anyway, my goal...
Every time you go to the dentist, it's bad.
It is.
Never a good
stinks.
trip to the dentist.
It stinks. But my goal the first day was to get from Peru, Illinois to Buffalo, New York, and that was about a 10-hour drive. And I was doing really well. I had housed some monsters when I left, and I was doing really good. I was making good time.
Did you shotgun them again?
I did not shotgun anything. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. But I got through. I stopped in Cleveland. Shout out to, I think he's Birdman on Instagram. He's a power lifter I follow, and him and his girl always go to this pizza place outside of Cleveland. And I'm like driving through Indiana, and I'm like starting to get hungry, and I'm like, I started looking it up on my phone and find out that it's only like 15 minutes off the path. It's called Ohio Pie Company. Get a medium pizza for myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going. Like,
did you have that last night?
I had their cookies last night. Yeah, so they make like homemade cookies, like the kind of goofy, not goofy, like a key lime pie, a blueberry lemon cookie. So I actually had those last night, trying to drown my Cubs sorrows. Yeah, but I eventually got through Pennsylvania and into New York that night, and I got to Buffalo at about like 10 p.m., and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep plugging. I was feeling good, and so I booked a hotel in Syracuse, New York, which was another like 2.5 hours. I think I got there like 1:45 in the morning-ish, so I stayed the night at a hotel in Syracuse that hasn't been updated since probably like before I was born. Like, I've got a picture, like it's mirrored walls, pink everything. The TV, they don't like have satellite TV after 2 a.m. It just cuts out.
In Syracuse or just
at least at this hotel anyway. So I stayed there.
So you had no television after.
Thank God I had my computer, so I was able to watch Netflix. But yeah, after 2 a.m. the TV just cut out.
That's
like
creepy.
Literally 2 a.m. boom, TV went.
What time did it come back on?
I don't know. I never turned it back on. Never tried because I got up the next morning and I had to be in Boston by 3 o'clock. I was going to a Red Sox game, and that was like a 5-hour drive from upstate New York. And then I got to my Airbnb, and you know me, like I don't mind like trap motels and I don't mind like sketchy places.
I did that out in Green Bay.
Oh yeah, that's right up my alley, dude. But I did the Airbnb where you like stay in people's extra rooms in their houses. Well, I stayed in Boston. If you've never been to Boston, the parking situation in Boston, like it will make you like want to put a gun in your mouth. My Uber driver told me that they knocked down a lot of the parking garages to increase the pricing of parking on the street, so it was impossible to find parking garages. And so I stayed in this nice couple's spare bedroom essentially. I slept on a mattress on the floor with a TV in it on top of a dresser, and that was it.
That was crazy when you told me.
It was a little sketch. They were super nice people, but like my bedroom door didn't have a lock. So I was of course me, being sometimes paranoid. That's
a good reason to be paranoid.
Yeah. But I luckily had like a 60-pound suitcase with me, so I just propped that up on the door. And I went to the Red Sox I keep still calling them the Devil Rays, the Rays game that Thursday night, and hit Fenway for the first time. I just kind of Ubered all around there, got back late. And then I went, and as I've said before, I'm a big history dork. I teach social studies. So I went and did the Freedom Trail in Boston, walked all around that city. I went up to Boston University, the old Boston Braves stadium. They've repurposed it for a soccer stadium now. So I kind of snuck into there, checked that out. And I think I took like 30,000 steps that day in Boston. My legs were shot. But then the next day, so like I said, how bad parking was, the place I stayed was like 2 blocks north of a hospital, and they had a parking garage there. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of trying to park on the streets, I'll just put it in here. I'll bite the bullet, pay like $75 for 2 days parking. Well, I go to leave, and the dummy in front of me took too long to go out of the parking garage, and the the stopper like came down on top of his car and it just stayed in the upright position like for a long time. And I even like tried to scan my ticket and everything. Like I was trying not to be a bad boy and I was going to scan my ticket and pay my money.
But hey,
I kept trying to scan it and wouldn't scan.
When you get like something like that, it's not your fault.
Exactly.
You tried.
I gave it like 30 seconds. No attendant came out, so I just went on my merry way.
Longer than maybe I probably would.
Exactly. So I tried to scan it, but then I drove from Boston to the Bronx, New York. On that Friday afternoon, I had tickets for the Yankees game Saturday night. So yeah, I would have been in Boston. I got up Saturday morning, drove to New York, stayed in a very colorful neighborhood. Very, very nice Airbnb. Shout out to my host there. But it was a couple blocks from Yankee Stadium, and it was like South Bronx, almost into Manhattan. I was like 2 blocks away from the bridge. And so I went to the Yankees game that night.
So you made a lot of friends, though?
Made a lot of friends. Yeah, shout out to the, I believe it's called the JV podcast. Actually, the dude I sat next to at the Yankees game is a podcaster for the New England Patriots. Up in the Northeast, I guess you could say. And the kid sitting in front of me was actually 8 years old, and he was on his 9th stadium. His parents were trying to take him to every stadium throughout his life, and that's kind of the journey I'm on. So that was cool talking to them. Another dude, I sold my hat off my head to a dude that night.
Oh, yeah, you said that. About the
Cubs. Shout out. I follow him on Twitter now. He's a super cool dude. I think if we go out east next year, we have to meet up with him. He's got a Cubs tattoo on his leg.
Works out there or something?
Yeah, he's from out there. His aunt was from Chicago, so he was like brainwashed into it, kind of like we were, you know. So the Yankees game was a lot of fun, and they were playing the Red Sox, so I actually got to say I saw the Yankees-Red Sox game in person. And then the next day, like I said, being a history dork, I wanted to go see the 9/11 museum and Ground Zero and all that stuff because I haven't been to New York since I was like 14. So I spent the whole next day at Ground Zero and I did the museum and all that stuff. And I woke up Monday morning. I had a tour at Citi Field over in Queens, the Mets Stadium. So I get there a little bit early. I had some ticket issues. Shout out to the Mets front office people. They were emailing me and let me in without my ticket because it wouldn't download on the MLB Ballpark app. So they took care of all that. They got me in, and I'm sitting in the parking lot getting ready to go in, and a New York cop taps on my window. I'm like, what'd I do? You know, am I in the wrong place? Did I do something wrong? And he's like, hey, bud, you got a flat tire. And I was like, oh, like it's probably just a little low from, you know, I'd traveled like 1,200 miles to this point. And I get out and look, and, dude, I'm not kidding. The rim was on the ground.
You didn't even notice it?
Didn't even notice it. I noticed it was low a couple days before this, but I didn't realize it was that bad, you know? And I noticed driving over there, it sounded a little funny. And I'm thinking, like, shit, like, my rim is on the ground, and I'm 1,000 miles from home. I don't know. Like, if something happens here, I just take it into town. I got, 2 different places that'll fix my tire. So, like, the whole time I'm at Citi Field, I did a tour, and then they had a doubleheader starting at 4, so I was sticking around for the game. I'm like Googling tire places to go, gas stations with air hoses, things like that, just so I can get the hell out of town. And luckily, I pull out of the parking lot, take a left, and not even 100 feet down, there was like a muffler shop, auto body shop, a paint shop, a window tint shop, tire shop, muffler, like all down the road. And I just pull in, and these guys, God bless their heart, they barely spoke English, super nice dudes, but we were able to communicate that my tire was bad, so they pulled it off. 2 nails in the thing. 2 nails. And they were like, Louise. Yeah, if you've been driving through New York through construction, there's probably going to be some nails out on the road. So, and they asked her, like, well, what do you want us to do? I'm like, can you just fix it? I thought they were going to make me put a new tire on it. They just patched it up, and they could have said $500, right? I'm the country bumpkin from the middle of Illinois, They could have said $500. I just handed my credit card over. $20 got me on the road, and I haven't even taken it in town to get fixed since I got back. And then that night I drove from Queens down to Delaware where my aunt and uncle live and stayed with them. Woke up the next day, drove into D.C. It was about 2 hours and did my tour of National Stadium. And I don't know how anyone lives in Washington, D.C. The traffic there. I would rather drive in Manhattan in rush hour than drive in Washington, D.C. It's a pain in the ass,
There's a lot going on.
It is. And, like, different roads close at different times because of, like, I don't know what they're doing, if it's construction, if it's government stuff, whatever it is. It was a pain in the ass. Really nice stadium, though. And I was going to go do some sightseeing, but I was so, like, peeved off with the traffic that I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I went back to my aunt and uncle's house and just hung out by the pool all day and had a nice seafood dinner. I had clams and what else? Salmon, bunch of other good stuff.
Not much of a seafood
crab
guy.
dip. Yeah, they really turned me on to seafood when I was younger. We go out there. We had shark once, octopus, tuna steaks, all kinds of cool stuff. But stayed there another night, hung out with my cousins, and then the next day I drove from Delaware to Pittsburgh. On the way is Gettysburg Battlefield, and I had stopped there for like maybe an hour. I knew I didn't have enough time to do the whole tour and everything, so I just kind of poked around the town of Gettysburg for a while, and then I went from Gettysburg to Pittsburgh for a game at PNC. And I'd been there before. It wasn't my first time at PNC, but shit, $6 tickets, $5 parking. It was awesome. There was no one there. I caught my second foul ball there. I've been to 50-plus games.
You gave it away, too,
I
didn't
did. Caught my second foul. I've been to like 50-plus games. I've caught 2 foul balls. And this one was a liner.
Easy.
No, it's not. I don't know how Zach Hempel does it.
I think he just recently, like, first game he had gone to and not caught a foul
he has
ball.
like 11,000 balls. Yeah. But he like researches what players are going to hit it where. It's stupid.
What a weird.
Yeah, he's a weird cat.
Yeah.
But so I catch the foul ball, find a kid who was at his like first game, and so hand it off to him, and then I drove from Pittsburgh to Cleveland that night. Stayed in actually ended up being a really nice Super 8 motel. The bedroom was really nice, but as I pulled in, some dude was being taken to the hospital for a cocaine overdose.
It's a tough arrival.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not what you want to see. Is 6 cops standing outside the.
That's
the
never
lobby.
what you want to see when you're rolling up at like what time did you say it was?
Oh, it was probably like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's probably not what you want to see.
No, not at all. Got up the next day, drove from Cleveland, stopped in northwest Indiana for some gummy bears at this Albanese place. Was the best gummy bears of it. As we might have talked about, I'm a big gummy bears guy.
Did you see, like, I think you have like a few pounds.
Oh, I have like
candy.
15 pounds of gummy bears and gummy worms and stuff. And then I made it back like at 5 p.m. Thursday. So
it's softball that night too.
Play softball that night too. Yeah, man, it was a great trip. Wish you could have came with me, but I know you and those Airbnbs would have been hilarious.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good. I don't know if that would have been gone over very well.
No.
But yeah, it would have been fun, but.
It was a long trip, man, especially like by yourself. Like, and you know me, like I don't have a problem, getting out and going by myself, But it was a little bit difficult the first couple days, like trying to keep yourself entertained.
Yeah, you're like, I can only listen to so many podcasts and so much radio before I can I get tired of. I want to talk to somebody.
Exactly. Luckily, like, and my personality, like I'll talk to anybody, anywhere, at any time about anything. So that kind of helped me out. Like if I was on the tour.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Talking to those guys at the Yankees game. So now I only have one Major League Baseball stadium left. Miami, and that will be knocked out next spring, by early April. I think me and the wife are going to go down to Florida, and then one of the nights we'll go down to Miami and take that in. So yeah, my TCF road trips are done for the year. This summer I hit 14 different states, 5 different new ballparks. And probably racked up well over like 4,500 miles in the car.
That poor little car is.
Yeah, it's not doing great, man.
It got worked.
And the shout out.
It got worked. But like I said,
Tony's looking for me. I might be getting a new car.
You might. I think you're gonna have to.
I think I might have.
But I'll go over mine.
I hit my.
Cheers, one of your favorite shows.
One of my favorite shows. I hit that on the Freedom Trails, so that was cool. Just a bunch of like I said, like going to Boston University and seeing the old Boston Braves. You can still see how they had it laid out. It's still cool like that. It's little things like that I enjoy, and obviously Boston is one of the most historic towns in the United States. It was so cool to be on that Freedom Trail and seeing buildings built in like the 1750s. You know, it's stuff like that that gets my juices flowing. So,
like I said, I'll be going on one starting a week from Monday, so we'll go over it next week about what I'll be going on. I'll be trying to do some filming with that. With Boomy did some stuff, but I kind of got caught up in some things and. It just wasn't. It didn't work out very well. And like I said, it's probably hard to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And record.
And especially when you're in Airbnbs and other people's houses, you want to be like, "Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Boomy. Welcome to
this is Boomy. I'm recapping my day. Here we go. I'm one person here. They know one person. These people don't care. Here, and why is this guy talking to himself?
Exactly. So I took I think I took like 500 pictures.
Really? So yeah,
but I might do like a slideshow just with all my pictures.
Yeah, what you should do is send them all to me, and I can just put them on like a video.
Yeah, that's what
we'll do that, and it'll be your TCF recap. I'll be doing some stuff with mine, but we'll get more into that. Let's get into the frickin' Chicago Cubs. They are 65-58 right now, and they are tied for first place with the Cardinals. As of right now, the Cardinals have lost, so they are now tied for first place. Back again, they were in second place last night. The Chicago Cubs were. They've blown 10 saves since the All-Star break.
Most in Major League
Baseball. But what they have done is they threw away Quintana having one of his best games of his career, 14 Ks, lose. Yu Darvish 2 nights ago, it was last night, right?
Darvish?
It was 2 nights ago. That's when we were playing softball. Yu Darvish, 10 Ks, 7 innings, 0 walks, 92 pitches. I think like 4 hits, and he doesn't get the win either.
Yeah.
We're blowing it when we have our. Let's get into this question. What's our top 5 right now? What's our top 5 pitching rotation right now?
The rotation is not what I'm worried about. The bullpen, I am. I think that Cole Hamels struggled a couple times. I think he's gonna get back. He's the vet that's gonna figure it out here soon. It's coming towards the push time. He's still, I think, recovering some of that lingering injury
Which
stuff.
scares me because I don't like how you have to recover while you're pitching. But people have said, what do you want in the playoffs? It depends on if the Cubs if they have home field advantage. I would think about throwing Cole Hamels in 1 or 2 because Cole Hamels at Wrigley Field is
absolutely
unbelievable.
I think Yu Darvish is our best pitcher.
I'm not saying that Hamels is our best pitcher, but
you're talking strategy.
Yeah, situational.
I think you go, if it's a home field advantage, I go Darvish game 1, Hamels game 2, and then give Big John the start on the road. And honestly, I'd go Hendricks right now. And it sucks because Quintana has been pitching well lately. I mean, let's not like you just said, he had 14 strikeouts the other night. But if we're talking in a playoff game, I think I would rather have Kyle Hendricks on the mound. He struggled a little bit too. I'm not going to take that away. But just due to his playoff performance and in his history, I think he gets that nod. But to me, those are kind of interchangeable with Hendricks and Quintana based on a matchup. If you have a team that's, heavy lefties, throw Quintana at them. If you have a team that you're going against a team that's heavy righties, go ahead and go Hendricks. And obviously in the playoffs, you don't really need a 5-man rotation. So I think that could come into play. Maybe you even give, Quintana 2 times through, and then you let Hendricks go 2 times through, and you make it less of a bullpen day. I don't think the reason that if there's a reason the Cubs are not going to win, and this is not even a hot take. This is not even, anything really off of what people are saying, but if the Cubs don't make it to an NLCS, it's because of the bullpen. The hitting is fine. They're a little bit down right now, but shoot, it's a 162-game season. There's going to be ebbs and flows of it. The bullpen, and even today, you could kind of see that creeping thought of shit, we might blow this again. They issue a leadoff walk. They get a runner to third. Luckily, Rowan Wick comes in and finishes it off. But if there's an Achilles heel to this team, and it's been this way all year, it's the bullpen. And unfortunately, it's
Kimbrel will be back.
Yep.
Should be back soon. Kinsler came in last night and blew it. It's a tough spot to put him in coming off an injury and trying to get back at it.
Right.
But it's just every time, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, you just get nervous. You don't know what's going to happen. Especially, I know you can't talk about the offense, but 2 runs against this Pittsburgh team, yes, it's nice. But the Cubs' offense should be doing...
Today, I think, is a little different than yesterday. Today, they were throwing a rookie who's actually had a really good year. His numbers are great.
But it just seems like this offense just can't really catch a nice, consistent stride.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So they get a big 10-run game, and then they
yesterday
get
was an
1, 2,
abomination.
1, 2. Yeah.
Yesterday, getting 2 runs off of the starter yesterday, I can't remember his name, Musgrove, I think. He's not a good pitcher. 2 runs off of him is abysmal. For the way this offense should be right now, that's embarrassing.
Especially with this bullpen, what's going to happen in the later innings. You want. But they had a 5-run lead the other night and blew it.
That's why I say the offense isn't my biggest concern. I think if you're talking starting rotation, hitting, and bullpen, I think bullpen's obviously your number one. I'm actually not that worried about the starting rotation. or the hitting. I think the hitting is going to be fine. I just think we're right now in one of those little ebbs right now where the numbers are going down. And I think they're going to come back out of it and surge here in September. And you guys would probably say that I'm too naive, but I'm eternally optimistic. I think this team is going to figure it out. I think someone in the bullpen is going to grow a pair and come in and just mow people down. If that's Brandon Kinsler, I don't think it's going to be Rowan Wick. I've liked his stuff, but at the same time, like, he's very prone to coming out and getting a little lit up. His stuff isn't untouchable. Let's not be naive.
I do understand that we should be positive and everything, but they are 24-39 on the road right now.
If I'm not mistaken, though, the Kansas City Royals in 2015, when they won the World Series,
that's fine.
Were 30 games below 500 on the road.
Yeah, it's fine, but these games they're losing, the way they're losing is just, it's killing me on the road. It just seems like there's something funky going on the road.
Like, are they out boozing all night before the game?
I don't know.
Like,
It's
that's
just,
what it seems
it's
like,
these
dude.
late innings, even today was still, they won, but it's still 2-0, and it's just every game is so close, and it's just...
Maybe they all just need a slump buster, a good old Mark Gray slump buster.
I don't know about that, but they need something. And they're 41-19 at home, so they love being at home.
If they can win the division, and get home field advantage. Yeah, yeah.
They're very lucky the division is struggling this year. I wouldn't say it's a very competitive division right now. The Brewers are kind of falling off. The Reds are eh.
So the Brewers, I meant to bring this up earlier, but obviously we haven't been on the air in a while. The Brewers trade for Drew Pomerantz at the trade deadline, right? You think Drew Pomerantz, right? He was a pretty good pitcher a couple years ago. He's probably got good. His numbers are ungodly. He has like a 6 ERA. He's like 3-9 this year.
Brewers rotation is just not going to allow them to get back into this. If the Brewers can
acquire any pitching this offseason, they're going to win the National League next year. Like, they have a good lineup. Their pitching is ass.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around them. Their starting pitching and even their bullpen is not. Hader's good.
He's been tough, though. He's been tough
Hader's
lately.
good. But the rest of their bullpen is average.
Way too much. They throw Hader way too much.
I completely agree.
Before the Cubs, it was a while back, though. The Cubs were coming into town, and they threw Hader like 2 or 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
And like 2 innings the night before. It's like, Craig Counsell does not seem like he was really setting himself up in his pitching.
It's weird because I don't know about you, but it almost seems like they use him the way that Joe Madden used Aroldis Chapman in 2016.
In the playoffs.
But Joe Madden also knew he wasn't going to have Aroldis Chapman the next year. Like, Hader's staying. Like, I think he's under contract for a while. So why are you trying to burn this kid out? Don't get me wrong, I don't know the relationship between Hader and Counsell. If he's out here saying, like, I'm good to go, like, use me as much as you want.
Speaking of that, though, the whole everyone getting annoyed about Joe Madden taking out Yu Darvish. I did hear that Yu Darvish did ask out. He did. It's not like he just got pulled. So, in a way, it almost seems like Joe Madden has become this team's cushion.
Yeah.
But it's bullshit. I guess I should say punching bag.
It's bullshit.
Every time
Joe Madden isn't the one out there walking in the winning run. Like, Joe Madden's not the one out there going 0 for 16 to open a series. Like, come on, guys. Like, stop blaming Joe Madden for this. These guys are professional athletes getting paid a lot of money to do a job, and they're not doing their job. It's not Joe Madden's fault.
Which I do understand. I get there shouldn't be fire, and he should get blamed for some things. He's the coach. That's what he's there for, and he doesn't care. And that's the nice thing about it is he doesn't care about any of this. He doesn't. He's
better than me. I'd be telling everybody to kiss my ass.
Well, you know what I mean, though. But as a coach, though, if I would not want a coach that says that.
Right.
I want a coach that goes out there and forgets about it. And that's what I love about Joe Madden is he doesn't give a shit about what everyone's saying. He's gonna. Joe Madden could be fired tomorrow. He's going to go upon his day like he was. I mean, he's going to go upon his life like he was going to.
Now, this is another part about Joe Madden that I meant to bring up to you.
Really got my words mixed up there.
That I meant to bring up to you. Do you almost wish that Joe was like kind of a light a fire under your ass kind of guy? Because like last night he should have went in there and screamed and cussed at every one of those guys, or at least the bullpen guys, and then even thinking about, like somebody, like you almost wish that he was a fire, like
But if he's never done that before, it would almost seem fake. And the only reason
that's why you gotta like pick and choose your moments.
But that's what I mean. If he's never done it before, then
maybe that would mean something. If he's like, okay, Joe's really pissed off now. He's never.
But maybe he shows his pissed off in different ways. Maybe if he won't talk to some guys or he will do this.
Yeah,
we don't know. I mean, we don't know the tactics he's going to go upon it. Maybe he did go in there like their ass.
Yeah.
Up. We don't know.
Right.
It seems like a pretty tight knit team that they were.
I just think these guys just need to go out and do their damn job. Like Anthony Rizzo's starting to come out of it now. KB hit a home run today, but those guys have been slumping lately. Javi's swinging at everything thrown up there.
That's why they have 162 games though.
Exactly.
And yes, it's tough right now. But guess what? We are tied for. We are 24 and 39 on the road. And we are tied for first place in our division. That is as lucky as you could get right now.
Yep.
We are in it. We are in the thick of things. We have a chance to make the playoffs still. You get in the playoffs, who knows what happens. But maybe instead of getting – I mean, yes, you can get angry at all these blown saves. 10 blown saves sucks. But maybe I want to embrace more of the division race and saying, man, this Cubs team should be 40 games over 500 and this and that and 20. We should at least have some fun with it. I know it sucks, but it's better than not having a team in the race or not even having anything to look forward to. And
I don't mean this to be a shot, and we're going to talk about him here in the seconds, but it's better than being a White Sox fan right now.
But yes, it is. But White Sox fans also have things to look up. Yeah,
in the future. But if you look at this season in a microcosm in its own, not necessarily talking about the future.
It's one of these things. It could be the Cubs could not be in a playoff run next year. Who knows?
Right.
It could be gone next year. So people need to embrace the run instead of being so mad about it.
Yep.
Yes, you can be mad. You know what? We should do this. Cubs fans get 1 to 2 hours after a blown save to be mad, and then you have to reset
saw me
it.
last night. And I'm like I've said, I'm very optimistic. But last night, about an hour after the game, my tweet was, "You're only as good as your next day's starter. Let's roll Big John." And that's how it's got to be. Embrace it. Today was fun. I was following it. I couldn't watch the game. I had to work. Following it along on my phone. As soon as I got home, I turned it on. These are the games. It's this kind of race, like you said, that makes this fun, man. This is so much better than it was 7 years ago when we were toting, Tony Campana out there to play center field. So
I saw a tweet tonight from the Iowa Cubs, and it was
about Zobrist.
Yeah, it was I think Zobrist knocked in Almora, and Daniel Descalso moved over or something.
Yeah,
and I think it was Joe Ostrowski.
Yep. Shout out Joe.
Reoccurring. Hopefully he becomes back. We got to get him back on for. He has a new betting show he's on. I think it's maybe Danny Parkins is also on it.
Okay.
But it was who would have thought? These odds that you would see this tweet right now that
from a
that
AAA
Zobrist, Almora, and Dan Descalso are all in the minors at the same time.
Yeah.
Nicholas Castellanos started off hot, getting a little, but I mean, I still really like him, and I think that the Cubs could lock him up afterwards for a few years at a good price. Because I mean, you gave up a few few prospects that were not even very high prospects in the minors for a guy like this who he's fast, he can play every day, he's a good outfielder, he's a reliable outfielder, and you can trust him at the plate, and you can trust. What I've figured out about this guy is that you're not going to phase him.
No.
He can have a bad day, and it doesn't matter. He's like, this is baseball. You have to have fun with it.
I know it's
That's what Almora's problem is.
He lets one bad game
It seemed like he couldn't just have fun with it. Like I said, I always go back to this with the Danny Parkins, Dan McNeil. They had an interview with him after a spring training game, and he was even talking about it's hard for him to wind down.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, yes, it's baseball, but you also got to have some fun with it. And I think that's why, when he's struggling, he just tries to push right through it. And sometimes you almost got to step back and just let your mind reset.
1,000%. I know it's a small sample size. He's only played 15 games as a Cub, and I know he's kind of come down a little bit lately. The dude is still batting .361 with a 130.
Yeah, I mean he's
on base plus slugging.
He's a starting outfielder in the playoffs for the Chicago Cubs right now.
If he plays for the Cubs all year with those numbers, he's an all-star.
And
every
also,
year.
I want to say there's going to be a shakeup in this outfield in the offseason. And I know it's going to suck, but I think Schwarber's name can be thrown around, especially if you lock up
Almora.
If you lock up Castellanos, you have Jason Hayward already under contract. You can't have all these outfielders.
I would love to see.
I don't think you're going to see Almora in the majors the rest of this year.
No, I would love to see Almora and Happ traded for something.
Speaking of that,
and then let Kyle Schwarber play.
Aston Russell got called up. I think that's just because they're trying to figure out something at
so
that
that he
second
can
base
get called
position.
back down when Ben Zobrist is up this week. I think that's what's going to happen.
But also they're just trying to figure out something at that second base position. I love David Bodie. He just
he's
can't
not
get
a
it go.
shortstop.
He's not a second base. I mean, he's a good second baseman, but I think in the thick of the playoffs, I don't know if you want him being your starting.
I want
second
David
baseman.
Bodie coming off to pinch hit in like the 8th inning.
Yeah,
that's where I want David Bodie.
Go in there if you want to get something, shake it up a little bit. Maybe even play at third base if you need him to.
If you have to move KB to the outfield for whatever reason.
But let's get into Ben Zobrist. Do you just expect everyone just expects they're very excited, and I love Ben Zobrist. It's not like he was really getting off to a great start before,
right?
And I understand there's a lot of things in his head, but I said he's a great leader, he's a great player, but we're expecting him to do so much. Who knows? I mean, we're just expecting to come in and be Superman.
No, and that's what I don't want us to get to that, because I do think that what's going to happen is he's going to come in and he's going to struggle a little bit to start
he's
transitioning from AAA to Major League pitching. He's going to struggle a little bit, but I think the biggest thing that Ben Zobrist brings in is like a stability presence in the locker room.
They trust him. He's been there. He's a 2-time World Series MVP, and he is. I mean, other than like Castellanos, he's pretty much been around all these guys for the past 2 years. So, and he said, I've seen some of this stuff, and I mean, he's treating this training. What am I thinking of right now? AAA, AA, minor league. I couldn't find the word minor league. This minor league stint, he's doing really cool things. He had one I saw. He had a little spot for autographs. He bought the guys dinner, and he just seems like such a stand-up guy.
Yes.
And he really is. And I'm excited to have him back because it's one of those things. Not everyone can bring in a guy like that right now because of no trades, nothing right now. So we're getting pretty lucky with that. And also, what do you think of Lucroy?
He's
just
serviceable.
He's serviceable. I mean, hopefully he can hold up until people. I think a lot of people forget that Wilson. I am horrible with remembering things right now. Wilson Contreras is on the IL.
Yeah,
so we're gonna get him back. I mean, he's one of the most electric players on this team. So
absolutely,
we're kind of forgetting about that. And like I said, we're still tied for first place.
Yeah,
that's humongous. I mean, after. If you would have said the Cubs were 24-39, even if you said 41-19 on the road at home, even at this record they have right now, who would have thought they'd still be in first place with the division when it was supposed to be?
No, for sure. And like you said,
I'm not going to sit here and say that the Cubs are in the best division because this year they're not, and they're lucky.
Yeah.
But they have a team that if you go in the playoffs, something can click. If you get it going into the playoffs, this team can get hot.
I still think top to bottom, though, this division might be best.
But it is something
because
that at this point
the other
right
ones
now,
are top heavy.
At this point right now, I don't think unless they got to fix some of that bullpen. This team is going to be tough to win a World Series.
Yeah.
The bullpen like that, you're not going to win a World Series.
No, they got
when you're worried about the 7, 8, 9th inning, you're not going to be in a good spot in a World Series game. Because like you said, we had Aroldis Chapman, and we still were nervous.
Yeah.
So
for
Craig
sure.
Kimbrell needs to come back, hopefully, and show that he is Craig Kimbrell.
Maybe I think with him coming back, everybody else can kind of fall into a role instead of the roles being thrown up in the air and like, who wants to take this inning today? Someone take it. You know,
that's pretty much what it's been the last few days. Especially it was, I think Chatwood tried closing out a game. I mean,
he went 2 innings.
The thing I like about Chatwood is he can throw that gas, and I like having a guy out of the bullpen that can do that. So I love him out of the bullpen.
Maybe a guy out of the bullpen. Big Z was gassing last night for the Dogs.
I saw that, but
98?
98.
He's 39.
I don't know what's up. That guy is always going to be a Dog.
Right now, I'd rather see him than Pedro Strop.
Yes. But there's a lot of guys we would rather see than some of these guys. But who knows? Everyone's like, oh, we need to do this. We didn't find the help at the trade deadline. There's just going to be magical bullpen help. That we've brought Kinsler in. We brought all these guys in that were supposed to be our help, and no one can help us.
Yeah.
David Holland, not going to be really. I did it every single time. See, maybe if he wouldn't blow it.
You'd call him his right name?
I'd call him his
right name.
That was rude of me.
That.
I said his name wrong, and I got triggered. So that's on me. Sorry, Derek Holland.
I think you've got to use this last month. Obviously, you got to win the division, but you got to use it to figure out who plays what role in that bullpen when everybody's back and healthy.
Yes. Let's go in. We got going into a little bit of Cubs there. Like I said, it's been a while. We got a lot of pent up aggression about the Cubs. Sox. They're looking good. They're 55-66. James McCann, 2 grand slams the last few weeks.
Boys playing well.
I think they won the series against the Astros this year, from what I saw.
Really?
So that could be I could be mistaken there, but if I'm not, then I'm giving Sox a praise they shouldn't have, but they played very well against the Astros. Speaking of that, I had the Astros money line that day
how'd that
when
go for
they tied it up. Okay, if you watch the game, it seemed like the Astros were like they were almost scoring every single inning. They got in second or third. They couldn't pull it out. James McCann's stupid grand slam ruined my bet. My own Twitter account that I created turned against me.
Yes, it did.
It turned against me. And
Yes, it
Pico,
did.
you're watching this right now. You're lucky you're still got access to that thing. But yeah, there's the Sox. What's good? We were going to talk about it before, but it kind of ties it in. The Field of Dreams game.
Yeah.
Why do you think they picked the Chicago White Sox? Why would they not have like a Yankees Mets or even a Yankees Red Sox, something like that? It just seems Yankees Sox, unless they're
I don't know
trying
if
to
it's
go
a
to like
proximity
a
thing.
nostalgia kind of thing, old school Sox.
Yeah.
Even though the old school Sox aren't even really allowed to be talked about in baseball because they cheated, which I think was kind of a cool story. But it's just one of those things. It's weird that they picked
I think
those
it
Chicago White
has to
Sox.
do because of obviously the Yankees and all those guys in the movie. A lot of them played for the Yankees, but because of Shoeless Joe. And have you ever read the book Field of Dreams?
No,
It's one of like the 10 books I've ever read in my life. Very different from the movie, but obviously Shoeless Joe being the motivation behind the movie, and him playing such a big role. I think maybe that tie to the White Sox is the reason that the White Sox. If not, then maybe proximity.
Yeah.
But I love the meme of the picture of the bleachers. This is memes in real life. Of the bleacher at Field of Dreams, and it says, "Finally, a stadium the White Sox can sell out," and it's like a little 8-person bleacher.
Well, I think it's like 8,000 people.
They're building a stadium like.
I heard the corners would be like glassed in or something.
Is that what they're doing?
Or something weird like that.
Like a glass fence.
I guess it's gonna be pretty weird.
That is gonna be. We should try and go.
Well, I think the tickets are gonna be crazy. If there's 8,000 tickets, it's
Tell
gonna be crazy.
Petro to put it on the company card.
Yeah, put that $5,000 charge on there for
We'll even pay for our own gas.
Where have any? You've been to Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
We know where it's at. Where in the hell are 8,000 people
Gonna stay?
The Yankees, the
Park?
Sox. I mean, Park.
There's not enough hotels in that county to fit 8,000.
It is a cornfield is where it's at
It
on
is.
a farm. That's unbelievable that they think it's just gonna work. I think it's one of those things. It's like what Big Cat always says. It's a problem that you're going to figure out later.
It's a future Major League Baseball
next
problem.
March or April, whatever, they're going to start getting nervous.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, shit, this is real.
I think they should have played like Cubs Cardinals there.
I would. Yeah,
At
that'd be
least
cool.
you would.
No, they're going to London, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
So they
that's
would
right.
have done that. They don't get two cool games.
But even like Sox Royals, like a rivalry
Yeah,
game.
well, like I said, Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah.
Why
I
would
think
that
a
one be tough?
proximity one. If you're gonna go like with that, you go with either like.
Well, then why would
the
the Yankees? Why are the Yankees there then? Wouldn't you have Cubs, Sox if that's the way you're talking about?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you're talking about proximity, like the Yankees
If
are
it was
pretty
up to
far
me,
away.
if I worked at Major League Baseball, I would make it a Cubs Sox game.
If I worked at Major League Baseball, the Cubs would have with every team that they played had to forfeit. That'd be my rule. If I worked for Major League Baseball,
I do like that rule.
we're gonna go into. I don't really want to talk. The Bears kicking. It's just weird. It's
Who's gonna be the starter when we beat you guys on September 5th?
It doesn't. I mean, at this point, I mean, both those guys are doing all
Is it
right.
Pinheiro?
They're both doing all right. I mean, it's one of those. It's just. It's so.
Can they just make a damn decision already? Like
Honestly, I don't care. They don't need to make a decision because really the decision doesn't need to be made yet. It's just everyone's forcing it because of this whole Cody Parkey, this and that. Yes, it sucks, but they're going about it how they should.
Right.
And the fans, I think, are a little overboard, like at the games when they're cheering and getting mad and this and that. When he makes and misses kicks, I think we're overlooking it, which it's fine to like because, I mean, that was a traumatic experience for all of us. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little over it, and whoever they throw out there, and hopefully he makes the first kick because miss the first kick, I'm gonna have a heart attack until he makes one. Thinking of that, just the first field goal, and your dumbass saying, "You can miss it."
double dike, baby.
That's gonna be annoying. But let's go
I can't
into it.
wait.
Our top 3 hypothetical
Baseball
announcers that are celebrities, whatever.
because we loved Bill Walton
Because
so
we love
much
Bill Walton.
last night.
And it just makes baseball more fun. It was way more exciting to listen to that than some just. I mean, I love Stoney, and I mean Benetti's good too. But there's certain,
you
Pittsburgh Pirates announcers that are maybe the worst in baseball.
They had dumps in their pants all the time.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it's not 1960 anymore.
Yeah.
We're playing where? Oh,
it's
beautiful
all the
PNs.
chains.
Yeah, but let's go into what we want to. We'll do a rock paper scissors. Win again.
Don't even know why we do this.
My number one. I threw this out here. Morgan Freeman. You know how
you
cool
got
that
one.
would be to hear Morgan Freeman.
Be like God announcing the game.
I'm not even gonna try and do the like an impression of it because that wouldn't work. But
Let's hear it.
No,
Do it.
I don't even know if I could do it right. I don't want to be. That would. It's too good of a
That is
voice
a good voice.
too.
Yep.
But the
I'll give
voice
you
of
that
God, literally the voice of God. What movie was that?
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty. Literally the voice of God. I think that how soothing that would be. Maybe
in a baseball
maybe
game,
not
I'd
even
probably fall asleep.
Maybe not even radio. That would be a beautiful radio.
Yes, him
announcer.
describing the scenery,
Oh,
like
my
him
gosh.
doing what like Pat Hughes when he does the
We're
jersey
in-
descriptions.
Beautiful.
Oh,
That would be beautiful.
That would be
we need
beautiful.
it right now.
I got one. One of my favorite all-time voices, James Earl Jones
Oh, from Field of Dreams.
from Field of Dreams. That would be a great. It sounds like Darth Vader announcing the game. But again,
you might get a
great
little
radio.
You might get a little scared when you
Yeah, I
listen
probably
to it,
would.
though. Okay, this one is gonna be funny. Imagine Simon Cowell
Oh,
announcing a baseball game.
That's a
and
great one.
just ripping on air, idiot,
Yeah.
idiot.
That is
You're
the
done.
worst performance pitching wise
That is the-
I have ever seen.
That guy thinks he's throwing a curveball. Doesn't look like one to me.
Yeah, that's a really good one. All right.
I don't know why that popped in my head, but Simon Cowell would be hilarious.
That's a good one. I like that one. All right, mine's going to be oddly specific. I'm going to go 2009 through 2013 Stacey King. Those were prime Stacey King years.
What do you?
Everything before that sucked. Everything after
Get
that
some
sucked.
hot sauce on
Yes.
that home run.
Yes.
Yeah, he would say Yabo. That's for
Oh,
sure.
100%. He like, we
But
call
yeah,
him-
nowadays Stacey King is a little much.
Yeah, I can't
And
stand it now.
he understands what he's doing now, and he keeps trying to build on it. It's like you don't have a Derrick Rose.
Well, he's a broken record. He keeps doing the same
Well,
thing.
the poor guy's
over
also
and
got no.
over.
Hopefully, they have a better team out there for him this year.
No, 2009 to like 2013 Stacey King in prime. That's my number
My
two.
number 3, Bill Murray. I want to hear Bill Murray
Oh.
on there because I don't want Bill Murray sober either. I need him a few drinks deep.
Yes.
Maybe a joint, maybe a little vitamins, but I need a little boozed up Bill Murray on the mic, getting real with it.
Because during that we're going to get a Harry Carey impersonation.
Yeah, we're gonna, or maybe like just Harry Carey coming out.
Yeah,
in them. Because
exactly.
Actually, I heard. Did you hear this thing the other day that Harry Carey said he had? It was like an insane amount he drank in his lifetime of like Bud Light, Budweiser.
Yeah.
It was just what it was like 14 drinks a day almost.
Jesus.
And some of the stories people called in because Danny Parkins kind of opened it up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he was drinking inside, and he was there for a few hours, and he had his car sitting in the middle of the road with the flashers on, just getting ready to leave." And they're
That's
like,
amazing.
Danny's like, "Yo, that's the great story to hear about Harry Carey."
Drunk driving.
But it's just, I guess,
Yes.
at times. But
That's
yes,
a good
Bill
one.
Murray, yes, he would bring out a little Harry Carey. But
I
he had to
like
do a
that.
Cubs game. It had to be a Cubs game.
Oh, 100%. You got me in a hard place here.
Well, that's weird.
I got a bunch, man. I had actually just had one that Ron Burgundy
Yeah. Ron Burgundy would be hilarious.
would be hilarious.
I-
Like,
or Frank, I have another one. Frank Caliendo would be
Caliendo would be a
hilarious.
good
'Cause he would do so many different voices.
yes, because you could do Morgan
He
Freeman.
would be like Morgan Freeman would be there, and then John
John
Gruden would
Madden.
be there. John Madden would be there, and it
Yes.
was just, that would be.
I got a couple extra honorable mentions, if you don't mind. Obviously, one of my favorite guys, Marty Mush from Barstool.
Oh, my
Roan
God.
from Barstool would be hilarious.
He hit the rat.
He hit the rat. I can't even talk like Marty.
Mush.
Adam Sandler would be fun, but I'm talking like 1993 at Shabadoo. We're playing baseball.
That'd be hilarious if he did the voice the whole time.
Yes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Yeah, exactly. Craig Sager and Vern Lundquist from the basketball world. I'd love to hear that. Those are iconic voices to me. Chicago-wise, Pat Foley. I would love to hear call a baseball game. And then obviously one of our favorites, Pat McAfee. electric human being. So
I'd like to hear Jeff Joniak, a Bears fan, on a baseball call.
Yeah.
Because he's got such a cool voice, but I guess that'd be any announcer of any sport. You usually have a pretty cool voice.
I agree.
But yeah, that was our top 3 hypothetical baseball announcers.
So whoever's in charge of,
especially because
personalities, make it happen.
A sport of baseball that is supposed to be called boring in a way.
Yeah.
That was so exciting last night. So why not bring more in?
I would love to see the viewership from last night because, like I've said, I watch Sox games. I dabble in watching Sox games when the Cubs aren't on. I would not have watched last night's game.
No,
I recorded it because I missed like 4 innings.
I was actually done with baseball for the night after that, but I brought it back because of him. Honestly, though, for the whole 9 innings, it was a little tough to get through after like the fourth.
Yeah,
bat
well, it was also like 11:30 at
pop up
night,
and he goes, "That's it to the moon."
Yeah,
and
it
he's
was
like,
just
"Oh,
a
that's
pop-up.
a baby pop up," or
Yeah.
like a pop fly. Oh, wrong way.
He also did say at one point that the bunt was, I think, fantastic was the word. And then he said to give Rick Renteria a contract extension.
Oh, yeah, he said a lot of things.
What a human.
I just want to know. I think it's real, but I want to know if he's just kind of
if he plays it up a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's just that high. That was the best one. He said, "I'm better.
I'm not as good at getting low as I am at getting high.
Yeah, he said, I'm not a good catcher because I'm not as good at getting low as I am at getting high."
We know, Bill.
And he's like, "I'm full of hot air." Oh, we know, Bill. You're
all
full
that peyote.
Peyote.
Taking
the weed he probably smoked right before he came into there.
Guaranteed.
And also, they had a video of him throwing out the first pitch. He threw out the first pitch. It was so bad, and he made him redo it.
No way.
Yeah, he redid it, and he's a lanky. He's humongous.
Oh, yeah, he's
I
like
forget,
6'8".
People forget. He's won, did he win, 4? Did he win 4 NCAA titles? Did he win 4
he might have.
every year that he was there? Because he had John Wooden, which is crazy to think, that John Wooden was his coach. And, I mean, I don't know if he won any in the NBA or not.
He won 2 at UCLA, 2 NBA titles. And he also won 2 high school championships.
And really?
Yep.
So he won 2 of everything he played.
2 of everything.
Good for you, Bill. But yes, that was episode 44. We did not look up. I don't know if we know who 44 is, the number.
Phil
40.
Cavaretta is who I went with. Sorry, Riz. Got to go with the legends.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Anthony Rizzo, my guy.
Phil Cavaretta's had quite a career.
He had quite a career. Speaking of career, Kyle Schwarber, for fastest Cub to 100 home runs. I think Chris Bryant had that record. So
I think you're right.
We have 2 of the fastest players in Cubs history to hit 100 home runs on our team right now.
Right.
So maybe we should try to get that moving there.
Embrace it.
But yeah, like I said, embrace the garbage in a way.
Yes.
It's going to be sucky. You're not going to win every single baseball game. It's not going to always be cute. It's not always going to be beautiful, but we're in it. We're still in it. We're tied for first right now, and we're just going to keep it moving. It's beautiful to be in this spot, but it's also tough because Cubs are in a spot where you're supposed to be there. Apparently they're supposed to be 10 games over 10 games above the Cardinals and to run away with first place. It's a struggle. And just for them to stay this, and they're not doing great, but to stay this consistent in a way is pretty good.
If we could play in the NL West, we'd be 10 games above.
Well, let's not go there, though, because we've lost some garbage games to the Reds, garbage games to the Pirates. We've lost a lot of the games in our division that we should not have.
Yep.
So the Cubs are in no spot to be really pointing at any other team making fun of them at this point, because I think that their road record is worse than about at least 3/4 of the.
I know it's worse than the Marlins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, which is just ugly. But we're going to wrap this up here. I am Zach Lilja. You can follow me at ZLilja, LILJA, TCF on Twitter. Follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Follow Loop Sports at the Loop_Sport. Like I said, Facebook will be back to our weekday shows. Hopefully this upcoming week, Tuesday to Thursday, 8 o'clock around there. We'll let you know either the day before or the day of. The Loop Sports are on there. Blogs, they got our podcast on there. They usually share it. Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans, and the Loop Sports.
Make sure to follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. If you're an Apple user, well, technically I am an Apple user now. I just got a work iPhone. Not a big fan.
2 phones.
I got 2
Yeah, I was gonna sing it, but I didn't think it was
I
needed.
felt like
I didn't think it was needed.
I did. So on Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. If you're not an Apple user, you can find us on Spotify. Make sure you follow us there. And head on over to the YouTube. All of the archived Facebook Live videos and the last 5 or 6 podcast videos are up there.
Years. You're about to say years.
Yikes. And then by football season, Big Z over here is going to have our training camp recap video put up there, so that will be coming up soon. So head on over to YouTube and subscribe to the page.
Yeah, we went to Green Bay, Wisconsin, a beautiful place to be.
It is a beautiful place.
That's not
Title Town, baby. Don't forget it.
But we're back. We're going to get back on this consistent.
Yep.
I'll be gone, like I said, that week, but it really shouldn't we may not have a live show when I'm gone, but we'll be doing podcasts and stuff. We're back on it. Like you said, you're back to school, so we'll be back on a more consistent basis here, spitting some more content. We got a lot of cool ideas. Hopefully, we can get some cool guests on here.
Football's coming
We've
up,
been kind of out of the
loop.
We've been kind of out of the loop the last few weeks with vacation and there's some stuff going on.
Did you do the loop? Did you say that because it's the Loop Sports?
No, I didn't mean to. But I'm always
good branding.
I'm just always thinking. But again, thank you for listening to episode 44. Thank you to our sponsors, 26shirts.com Chicago. SeatGeek, you type in the promo code TheLoopSports in all caps at checkout. You get
SeatGeek is a ticket search engine that never loses sight of the fan experience. I never did my ad read.
Hey, I started out with a plug. Here's a plug.
Simply go to their website or their app.
About that. I'm like,
holy crap. Type in the name of a team and choose the date that you're looking to attend. I use SeatGeek when I should have done this when we talked about my trip because I use SeatGeek the whole time out there. Choose a date that you're looking to attend. SeatGeek will present you with a graphic chart of the stadium where you can then choose your seats and tickets based on a scoring system that determines the best value. You want to look for green. That's all I look for, guys. If you've never used SeatGeek, before, we've partnered with them to give you guys a great deal. Apply the coupon code TheLoopSports in all capital letters at checkout, and it'll take $20 off of your first purchase with SeatGeek. A $50 night for 2 at the ballpark becomes $30, or a $23 trip by yourself turns into just $3 with our coupon code TheLoopSports in all capital letters. You have no excuse to not go out and root for your favorite team. Just apply the coupon code TheLoopSports at checkout and have a great time on us. Shout out to SeatGeek for partnering with us here at The Loop Sports and typical Chicago fans.
You meant to do that. I know you meant to do that. You were like, I'm going to put this right at the end and make them think that I just forgot about it.
I did not.
Also, shout out to a Monkey Knife Fight. You type in the promo code LOOP.
Can't wait. I'm saving up all my money on there for
match
football,
your deposit
baby.
up to $100. Daily fantasy. I know they're going to be doing some on football. They got to.
It's got to be.
If they don't, I'm going to be talking to them. But like I said, thank you to SeatGeek. Thank you to 26shirts.com Chicago. Thank you to Monkey Knife Fight. And thank you to everyone that's supporting us out there. We are back, and we are better and ready to get back at it.
Absolutely, baby. Let's keep rolling.
Peace.
You stole my piece.
I thought you were going to say it. Say it.
Peace.